Yeah. Way up.
Yo, yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. Happy Thursday. It is almost the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and boy, do we need that. I was up last night watching Love is Blind. You know, the first 6 episodes dropped. I only made it through maybe like 1.5. I feel like Love is Blind normally starts off kind of slow until there's a little bit of a groove going. Dan, you're nodding your head. You were watching it too?
I did. I saw the first 2 episodes.
And what'd you think so far?
They definitely jumped right into it.
Yeah, and there were certain people you could always see when they're going to really highlight certain people.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name that keeps talking about how much money he
Leo.
has? And,
Everyone can't stand him.
he's like, I don't want people to like me for my money, but then he's like telling everyone about how he has so much
All
money.
he talks about is his money and his Rolex.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yep. And then, what was the woman's? Why am I forgetting? Hannah, is that her name?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
feel
also,
like-
you noticed another guy said that he looks like a famous actor now, so that spiral can begin.
But just so you guys know, we're not going to give you any spoilers, but there is one couple that already proposed.
Mm-hmm.
He already proposed. So I feel like they're like a cute, that could, it felt like a genuine, more connection. But yeah, Love is Blind. I'm so excited for it. But today we are going to be having special guests on the show on the Revel. That's a cannabis event. It's a 2-day cannabis event. So anybody interested in that industry, you are going to love this conversation. And let's shine a light. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Let us know who you want to spread some love and positivity to. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
I'ma shine. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time for us to shine a light. And today I want to shine a light on David Stewart. He is the richest black man in America. His net worth is an estimated $11.4 billion. Now he has a company, and it's called Worldwide Technology. It's an IT management company. He's the founder and chairman, and he launched this back in 1990, and today it is a solution provider for over 80 Fortune 100 companies. Some of the partners include Cisco, NVIDIA, Verizon, and the federal government. They have an expertise in AI, cloud, networking, cybersecurity, data analytics, automation, digital transformation, and all of that. And he said his success is because of the breadth and depth of opportunities that we have here, coupled with a culture that allows you to be all you can be. He's 73 years old. So congratulations to him for landing on that Forbes 400 list. He is at number 84, again with $11.4 billion. Now, who do you want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150. Katia, who do you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine a light on my 18-year-old son, Omari. He got the most improved student in school. He brought up his grades, and not only that, I just had major surgery, and he told his friends he cannot hang out for the next 6 weeks. He has put me in the shower, cleaned my dressing.
Oh, wow.
He has totally taken care of me.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing. You should be so proud.
I am.
That means you raised him well. I want to ask you, how did he manage to improve so much? What did he do?
He done brought his GPA up. He's not getting kicked out of class anymore. And he's a high-functioning artistic child.
Okay.
So I'm just so proud. I don't know if because he just matured, because over the summertime, but I'm just so proud of him.
All right. Well, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy your surgery went well.
Thank you.
All right. Shout out to you, Omari. Your mama love you.
Thank you, Angela. Yeah.
All right, take care. All right, well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, you can still leave a message for last word. And when we come back, Yeetie, let's talk about Beyonce's Cowboy Carter and some of her country music awards snubs that she's had, okay? And we'll tell you one country artist who is weighing in on what Beyonce should be doing. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
They say it's truth in the room.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to 'em.
It's Way Up. I'm here, and Mano's not here, but my producer Dan is here with me, and we're doing Yeetie. And first off, let's talk about Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. Now, that is being submitted for the Grammys country category, which is going to be, we'll see what happens with that. But one big conversation that's been happening is Beyonce and getting snubbed from the Country Music Awards nominations, even though her album, which is a country album, Cowboy Carter, topped the charts. Now, Luke Bryan said this on Andy Cohen Live on Sirius XM.
just because she made one, a lot of great music's overlooked. Sometimes you don't get nominated. Everybody loved that Beyonce made a country album.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make country albums, come into our world and be country with us a little bit.
All right, so that was his point about Beyonce not coming out and high-fiving everybody. Dan, what are your thoughts? Because I know we were talking behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because she did not start in country. If she started in country and was like never going to all the award shows and stuff like that, I would kind of disagree with him, but I think he does kind of have a fair point. Now, does it mean that she should be snubbed from the awards? That's a tough line to draw.
See, this is where it's weird to me because the reason why she did the album, right, is because of her experience going to the Country Music Awards and performing with the Chicks.
Yes.
And then it turned into this whole big thing where they took the clips offline, and it was like a something in support of Black Lives Matter. They got mad at the Chicks for that.
Yes.
So it feels like she did try to go and do something previously.
That is true.
And was met with all kinds of hate and racism.
A terrible experience.
A terrible experience, and that's what made her make this album. So to me, it's kind of like I'm going to do what I want to do and be in a genre that Black people have always been in. But, it's just a situation where I can't imagine high-fiving the people that were saying all kinds of crazy.
Well, that I agree with. But just to play
things about
devil's
me.
advocate here, if a white person were to come into hip-hop doing a totally different genre their entire career, would they be accepted?
And they have.
Who?
People have done that.
I mean, like Post Malone is like an easy say,
the
but
opposite.
he's technically started in hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's the thing. For him to say this is our world, and, Beyonce's from Houston, Texas.
For sure.
I mean,
I'm sure she grew up
that's where
listening
the rodeo
to country.
is and everything. So I don't know that you can claim a world like that. I don't know. It's just it feels a little weird to me.
It's an interesting conversation.
Just knowing how she started off and how she did try to perform and knowing the backlash that she got.
Yes.
And knowing how country music has traditionally been something where they were upset about Old Town Road. Just think about that. But I will say Shaboozey, his song, a bar song, Tipsy, has become the biggest country hit of the decade globally. So congratulations to him for that. That's a big deal. All right, well, that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we discuss what we did last night. I guess you and I can talk about Love is Blind a little bit here, because that's what I was doing yesterday. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. About Last Night is next. And this is where we belong to. In Paris, they don't own that world either. It's Way Up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
Last night.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and my guy Dan is here with me today.
What's up, Ange?
And I know both of us, well, before I started watching Love is Blind last night, I'm dealing with trying to purge things from my home to finish moving, because I still haven't. So yesterday I was basically getting rid of clothes. I have so much stuff, it's ridiculous. But I've been living in that house for how long now? Like 11 years. That's a lot of stuff. 11 years worth of stuff.
Gonna sell a bunch of it?
What can be sold, the Real came by and picked up some things. And then I have friends who have kids who are going back to school. I have so many hoodies and stuff like that. So, it's nice. I like to be able to give stuff to people who I know will appreciate it and enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe I'll come over with my fiance.
Yeah, because it's...
Go shopping in the closet.
When I tell you so much. But anyway, we also then went home to watch Love is Blind. Now, this season is taking place in D.C. I have not gone through the first 6 episodes yet, though, because I'm a fan, but I'm not that much of a super fan. So, what did you think so far?
Hannah kind of bothers me. Sorry, Hannah.
She keeps on talking about how hot she is.
Yeah.
And I always think that's an interesting thing to do, because you're not supposed to focus on looks necessarily, but it's like you're trying to give clues to have everybody be like, oh, she's hot.
She led off by saying, like, I was a cheerleader, I dated the quarterback, stuff like that. But also what's pretty cool, I don't know if you know Monica. Diamond, who works over at Elvis Duran, that's her cousin.
Oh, I always see Diamond in the bathroom. Oh, okay. That's why we both love this so much.
Yeah.
Now, Leo, so we got to see if we can get her up here.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, Leo is somebody who I was just rolling my eyes at the whole time. Now, the women like him, but part of it is because he keeps on talking about how much money he has. He has this inheritance. He says he's an art dealer. And, right off the bat, he talks about his money. And then he also...
but it's ironic.
Talks about 50-50, and one of the first questions is, would you want to split the bills 50-50? Or
But it's all ironic because he said that how he doesn't want women to be with him for his money, but yet he leads off every conversation by saying he inherited all this money and has all this money and his job is so lucrative and here's my Rolex.
Right. All right. Well, this is going to be interesting. This is in D.C., like I said, this season. Already there has been one. There's been one proposal.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you too much on that. You'll figure out in case, because I know everybody hasn't seen it yet. But yes. And what do you think about the people on this season, though?
I only saw like an episode and a half. I kind of fell asleep in the second half of the second episode.
Did you see the Trump conversation?
I missed that.
A conversation about politics. That's involving Monica.
I did miss that. Okay.
Yeah, she's on a date with Steven, and he talks about how he voted for Donald Trump in 2016, but then he voted for Joe Biden in 2020. And so normally these are not conversations that are brought up. So it's an interesting one.
I thought Brittany was an interesting character. She kind of is like just playing like the dumb blonde role.
Yeah, I can see that. And this is in D.C., so I'm sure politics in the DMV area, because so much happens in D.C., I can't see how this couldn't be something that gets brought up. But anyway, we'll keep you guys updated. That is about last night. Now we want to pick a side when we come back. Earlier, we were talking about Beyonce and her album, Cowboy Carter, not getting nominated for the Country Music Awards. And Luke Bryan weighed in. Here's what he said.
Just because she made one, a lot of great music's overlooked. Sometimes you don't get nominated. Everybody loved that Beyonce made a country album.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make country albums, come into our world and be country with us a little bit. Come to an award show and high five us and have fun and get in the family too.
All right, well, pick a side. What do you think about that when it comes to Luke Bryan talking about Beyonce getting snubbed at the Country Music Awards? He feels like she needs to come and schmooze a little. But, to Beyonce's point, she did this album, Cowboy Carter, because of how she was treated when she performed with the Chicks at the Country Music Awards. And it was a lot of racism and vitriol. They took the clip offline and all kinds of things happened from that. So we want to see what you think. 800-292-5150. Does Luke Bryan have a point? Or does this feel a little weird to you like it felt to me? All right, 800-292-5150. Pick a side. It's way up.
It's not just right or wrong. It's about what you believe. It's time to pick a side and stay there.
All right, it's way up with Angela Yee. I'm here, and my producer Dan is here as well.
What's up, Ange?
And we're talking about Luke Bryan weighing in on Beyonce being shut out of the Country Music Awards nominations, even though her debut country album, Cowboy Carter, was at the top of the charts. Here is what Luke Bryan had to say on Andy Cohen Live.
Just because she made one, a lot of great music's overlooked. Sometimes you don't get nominated. Everybody loved that Beyonce made a country album.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make country albums, come into our world and be country with us a little bit. Come to an award show and high five us and have fun and get in the family too.
All right, I've seen Dolly Parton weigh in on this and say that she made a great album. Everybody in country music welcomed her and thought it was good. It wasn't a matter of shutting her out. It was just what the country artists were doing, and it was not just for a specialty album. And Kelly Clarkson has said that country music is hard to break into. She said, I was told at a lunch if I didn't quit pop music and just go country, I would not be played. And she said, okay, no offense, but I'm not ever going to just pick one. Beyonce, on her behalf, has said that Cowboy Carter was an album that she made after an experience where she did not feel welcomed, and it was very clear that I wasn't, but because of that experience, she did a deeper dive into the history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. And so that's what propelled her to actually go past these limitations.
What are your thoughts?
I think that she should have been nominated, personally. And do I think that she should have to go and schmooze and do all of the things? I understand her being apprehensive because of how she was treated last time around when she performed with the Chicks, and they said all kinds of racist things. I would have a little bit of trauma from that. So it's a process. But what do you guys think? Mike, do you agree or disagree with Luke Bryan?
I think he kind of got a valid point. If it was like somebody trying to get into the hip-hop world or R&B world, and they was white, they probably get more flack, just like, Post Malone, Eminem. They don't really get accepted as much as they should. All the good music they make, and they keep it awards and everything.
Okay, so you think no matter what, you still got to go and play the game and schmooze a little?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I just wouldn't take what he's saying to the heart as much, because he do got a valid point.
All right. Well, thank you for your opinion, for calling.
No problem. Thank you.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What do you think about Beyonce versus Luke Bryan? He thinks that she needs to come and high five everybody at the Country Music Awards.
No, absolutely not. She is from Texas. She doesn't need to schmooze and high five everyone just because she hasn't made a country album before.
What do you think Beyonce needs to do, or should she just not care?
She's Beyonce. She doesn't need to care. I mean, this is the biggest country album of the year.
Right, that's a fact. So it's kind of more a disservice to them that they're doing these things.
Yeah, it's making them look bad. I think they're just being racist.
Okay, all right. I mean, listen, there was a lot of racism when she did perform with the Chicks, and that was years ago. And this is why she did the Cowboy Carter album, because of the backlash that she got when she did that performance, and the backlash that they got. It was so bad they took the clip down off their site. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Hey, Leslie.
Hey.
So what do you think about Luke Bryan, and what do you have to say about Beyonce and her not getting nominated for a Country Music Award for Cowboy Carter?
Well, I think that everything she does isn't award-worthy.
Okay, so you don't think she deserves it?
No.
So you didn't like the Cowboy Carter album?
It was all right, but award-worthy, no.
All right, so you don't think it has anything to do with the fact that she's not in their world?
Well, I think that partially has to do with it. I think he's right that if she did a little more smoozing, it would probably help her, you know. But, no, I think there's a lot of other... Yeah, there's probably other people, too, that didn't get nominated, but it didn't mean they were shut out. It just, you can't nominate everybody.
Yeah, no, I think it's just interesting because of all the other nominations that she's gotten that, you know, this particular award show did not nominate her. So, and I guess because it got so much critical acclaim and it sold so well.
Right. Well, I don't feel like she deserves all the other nominations she gets either, so.
You're like, I just don't like Beyonce.
I do not, actually, I don't. I'm really not into her stuff.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
All right. Thanks.
All right. I would have loved to know what she does like. And when we come back, we have your Yeezy, Saucy Santana versus Academics. Who knew this beef was going to be going on and on and on? But right now, let's shout out to Beyonce. Here is Bonnie and Clyde, Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's way up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that yee tea. Come and get the tea.
All right, it's way up with Angela Yee. I'm here, and it's time for your Yee Tea. Now, it looks like Academics and Saucy Santana had some issues. Academics had posted something about Saucy online. He said in the caption, "Silverback gorilla Saucy Santana trying his best to let us know that Young Miami got a new man after the alleged freak-off escapades with Diddy. What y'all think about all of that?" All right. Not a nice caption. Not a nice name to call Saucy. We all know Academics and Young Miami have not had the best relationship, even though I feel like he was supposed to go on Carisha Please, right? Dan, you remember that?
I do.
It didn't happen, though.
No, it's not. And Academics and Saucy have had a history of going back and forth.
They've had a history back
too.
and forth. Where Academics was, like a little bit, was he crying, like a little teary-eyed over it, I feel like. Well, Saucy Santana then fired back the way that Saucy only can at Academics, and here's what he said.
9 o'clock in the morning. You talking about you drunk, but what you doing on my page? You fat. I told y'all, like, let me find out you on my page to get your morning wood. And who the how dare you ever, Silverback, you, Nickelback, quarterback, quarter pounder.
He said a lot more, but we can't put it up here.
He definitely said a lot more.
He said a lot more. Saucy is funny to me, though. I'm sorry. Like, it's
hilarious.
Yeah. All right, now, this is another funny story. Will Smith, according to Barry Sonnenfeld, who directed the Men in Black movie, he said that it was hard to work with him and they actually had to leave set for 3 hours. Here's what happened.
Will Smith is a farter, and you really don't want to be inside a very small, hermetically sealed space with a Will Smith fart. We evacuated the stage for about 3 hours.
The not so fresh Prince of Bel-Air, huh? Okay.
We used to do that the other day when you farted in here.
I did not fart in here. Nice try. All right. And it would not be a 2 hour or 3 hour evacuation.
It'd be the whole day.
Maybe like 5 minutes.
They'd have to repaint the walls.
Not at all. All right. Russell Simmons owes $3 million to 3 women, including a sexual assault accuser, and he has not paid that settlement. The money was due October 1st. And so now, because he has failed to pay, they are able to start the collections process. Legal representatives for the women did not respond to Variety's request for comment, and neither did Russell Simmons, but he did pledge to pay $1.265 million each to Abrams and Abernathy and $515,000 to Franco, and he also did not admit any wrongdoing under these settlements, but then he didn't pay. So, you got to take care of that because it's not going to go away. And Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us has tied the record for the longest running number one Billboard Hot Raps on the number one on the Billboard's Hot Rap Songs chart. Do you know what he tied with?
I do not.
All right. Well, he is tied with Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus's Old Town Road that came out in 2019. So it's now spent 20 weeks at number one, and he's tied for the longest number one hit in the chart's history. Feels like he's going to break that record. All he has to do is one more week.
Is he the GOAT?
Is Kendrick Lamar the GOAT?
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point in time, yeah. I mean, the way that all of this went down because of how he handled himself. And then even hearing Don Cheadle talk about his experience with Kendrick Lamar and what a perfectionist he is. Yeah, I would say he's a GOAT.
I've been saying it for a long time.
All right. When we come back, Under the Radar, these are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They are flying under the radar, and find out what the issue is with products and small businesses that could cause prices to go up. This does not have to do with the president, guys. All right. It's way up.
News that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time for these under the radar stories. These stories are not necessarily in the headlines, but you definitely need to know about it. Now, it's going to be harder to find products like bananas, electronics, liquor, because dock workers at ports from Maine to Texas are on strike. That's 45,000 union workers who have walked off the job after labor negotiations stalled. The strike is going to cost the economy up to $5 billion a day, and that's going to hurt small and medium-sized businesses, but it could also boost prices for voters who are already frustrated with housing and food inflation, according to experts. Any strike that lasts more than 1 week could cause goods shortages for the holidays. We could get the kind of inflation for 6 months similar to or worse than peak inflation level years ago. So just get ready for that when you see things like perishable products like seafood, electronics like cell phones and computers, pharmaceuticals, cars and auto parts, alcohol, machinery parts, bananas, all of these things. And, the holidays are coming upon us. So just be aware as you are figuring these things out. All right, Chicago has been named the best big city in the U.S. by readers of Condé Nast, and this is the 8th consecutive year that Chicago has been named the best big city in the United States, and that is because of readers choosing their favorite destinations and venues. It's also because of the city's tourism, hospitality, and events community. So congratulations, Chicago. I was just there for my girl Chella's birthday. Dan, you been to Chicago?
Only once, but it was only for a short weekend.
You like to eat too. As a foodie, I think you'll particularly enjoy it.
I would love to go back.
And a person who likes to shop, I particularly enjoy it. All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. Now, we have the Way Up mix at the top of the hour. Plus, we have the founders of On the Revel, and the Revelry 2024 event is upon us. This weekend, it's a cannabis business trade show and a cultural celebration. Anybody who wants to be in the cannabis business, this is such an important conversation that we're going to be having for you guys. It's Way Up.
Way up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way up.
Yo, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's time for some Yee T. Now, Angela Simmons was recently talking about the situation with her ex and how he was killed, and how her son found out. Her 8-year-old son, Sutton Joseph Tennyson Jr., was asking questions about that, and she basically was on Keke Palmer's podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer, discussing how her son found out.
He looks online. My father's son's mom, she calls me and she's like, I'm gonna give you a heads up. He's asking how his dad got murdered. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
What? So he gets on the phone and he's bawling. He's like, I don't know why he's not here, but why would somebody shoot him? Next day he's like, someone murdered him. And I'm like, what are you looking at, baby? I'm like, you can't look online. But I just hated that the internet told my son before I can tell him.
Oh, that's so tough. Imagine that's how your child finds out, and now you got to explain that, and it's already hard enough. All right. Well, we send our love to Angela Simmons and to her family and to her son. Now, Trey, the truth is headed to help people affected by Hurricane Helene. Parts of North Carolina have been devastated, and we all know that the death toll is up to 176, and there are still hundreds of people missing. So here is what Trey the Truth had to say.
My heart goes out to anybody who lost somebody. It's probably one of the biggest death tolls in a minute. Again, we en route, DM Relief Gang, Carlos. Just get us different info. We just trying to do whatever we can to assist the people.
All right. So he posted, if you are in Greenville, South Carolina and surrounding areas and need help with trees, rescues, or other assistance, DM at Relief Gang Carlos with info, pics, and phone number. All right. And here is a Diddy update. So Diddy is facing 120 new sexual assault allegations, and according to reports, at least 25 of them are underage victims as young as 9, 14, and 15. So Tony Busby is the attorney who is representing most of these victims, these alleged victims, and so we'll continue to see what's going on. But I saw a report that Cassie was not pleased with all of the jokes that people are making. A source told Daily Mail Cassie is hurt that people are making jokes and memes out of the baby oil because of what it could have been used for. It isn't funny to her or anyone who experienced similar. Cassie had heard mumblings about the class action suit but broke down in tears when she was informed of the allegation about the child. She's planning to take time away from receiving updates because it has sickened her, and she hopes that anyone who was hurt receives justice and peace of body and mind. And Cassie has not spoken about Diddy's recent arrest because the case is triggering for her, but she and her husband Alex Fine are doing everything they can to protect their 2 young children as the case is moving forward. See, and that's something that we talked about before. We've seen things like this come up previously with R. Kelly and jokes that people made, and how the people who were affected by that, a lot of times that's not so funny to them. We might be making jokes about it like, oh, what do you think he was doing? And people have things to say, but a lot of times those things aren't funny when you're the person who is having to deal with that. So is that something you think about, Dan? I see you over there looking very... I
mean, it's just an awful situation.
Right.
To have to, she's probably reliving this every single day, and every day there's more news, and there's more news, and there's more stories, and there's more allegations, and, it's got to be tough to live through this.
Especially to hear about these little young, like a 9-year-old. I saw I think it was in the Post, they had a kid who, he's now like 30, and he said when he was 6... he was present for some of these parties with naked girls running around and drugs being used. And they had a picture of him with Diddy when he was like 6 years old. And the parents, I guess, got him out of there, though. They left, I think they said at like 9:30 before anything popped off. All right. Well, that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, we have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Call us up. Any question you have, we're here to help. Here's Kalani. It's Way Up.
Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
So you should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time for Ask Yee. Any question you have, I'm here to help you out. Now I have Sasha on the line. Hey, Sasha.
Hi, Yee. What's up?
Hey, girl. How you doing?
Another day, another dollar.
I know, or another 20. All right. So what's your question today?
Okay, so I'm originally from Orlando, but I've been living in New York for like 10 years. My rest of my family is in Orlando. It's split between like Orlando and Miami. And I finally got I just closed on a house.
Congrats.
And I really thank you so much. I know that you're big on home ownership.
Yes, I am.
And I really want my family to do the holidays this season at my spot. Since I've been living in New York, I've been going down to Orlando all the time to go spend it with my family. My sister has kids, but I'm having trouble on how to ask them for them to come up here.
So what happens when you ask them or when you propose that?
I haven't yet. My parents are Caribbean. They're really strict. It's like their way or the highway.
And I'm sure because you're the only one here, it is more difficult for everybody to travel. But you have to make it seem like a little treat and a little vacation. Is there anybody in your family who you could have on board in your corner so that when you guys propose this, it sounds exciting and fun?
Yes, I have 2 sisters. My other youngest sister, she's actually considering coming to college in New York. I was thinking about, maybe if you come out here, we could see NYU. maybe she wants to like kind of do a college tour type of thing.
Right, and you have Caribbean parents. So I know they big on college, okay? And so
yes.
I would say get the sisters on board first, where they're ready to like go and get their flights, and it also can double as if we can go see NYU. You know, she wants to go to NYU, so we can be supportive of that and get them on board. So when you guys propose this, it's more like, listen, we were thinking this year, since I just bought a house, it could be like an amazing housewarming. I would be so appreciative for you guys to come and see where I'm at, and I want to take care of you because you guys have done so much for me every single year. Every time I come out there, now I want to return that. And I also want to have my sister go and look at school, and we can be supportive of that at the same time.
You are one persuasive lady. And I'm gonna tell them Angela Lee says so. I need y'all to spend Christmas here.
Yeah, spend Christmas here, and then let them know. Look, have some plans and things ready to go. Not too much, because you know we hate a full itinerary. But maybe there's like a Broadway play you guys could go see that they could only do if they come to New York. Maybe you guys plan like to go see the tree, whatever it is that you want to do. So if you can make it seem like it's going to be like a fun trip for everybody, but also productive, but also great for you. You bought a home. Let me take care of you guys. All you got to do is get on the plane and come here. I got everything else.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Dee. This is great.
All right, I'm coming over too.
Hey, Les, we ordered takeout though.
All right. Well, thank you for calling and good luck.
Thanks.
All right. Well, good luck to that. And another big thing that's happening in New York is on the Revel. The Revelry event is this weekend. If you love marijuana, cannabis, if you have a business, if you're thinking about getting into business, or maybe you just like to smoke, this event is amazing. We have the founders of On the Revel joining us. But this is something you can also do virtually. This is a community that you can join online, and we want to make sure you're aware of it. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Here we go again.
This is Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I mean way up, like up really, really high. And we have the founders of On the Revel. We have Lulu Sway here, and we have Jacoby Holland. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Super excited to be here with you, Angela.
I'm going to be joining you this weekend, and this On the Revel, this Revelry event is a huge deal, and this is all about cannabis, business to business operations. This is a great way for people to connect, but this is a very inclusive event as well. So let's talk about this. Started 8 years ago, and think about what the cannabis industry was like 8 years ago in New York to where we are today.
Yeah. Back then, there was actually just a medical program. There was a lot of suits and finance bros, and like, you know, I'm a half black male. I was in my 20s. We was a Chinese woman, and like, we just have a different experience with cannabis in our community. And so when we would go to these events, we weren't reflected.
Right.
And that was so early in New York's legalization process that, you know, we've kind of grown with the industry, and it's cool to see that like the industry doesn't have to be all finance bros. Like, this is cannabis. We're talking about smoking weed. Like, there's people of every type that want to be a part of this industry, and there's space for them.
It's so amazing to me to see something that was so stigmatized, that was criminalized, that now those very same people are like, how can I invest in this business? And I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Even, you know, with mushrooms. Mushrooms used to be something that people would look at you so crazy, like, you did what? Oh my God, you're a druggie.
Yeah,
and now everybody's like, do you have some microdose? I microdose shrooms all the time. It's just the funniest thing to see how stuff is changing.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm talking to the co-founders of On the Revel, Jacoby Holland and Lulu Sway. We're talking all things cannabis. So what can we expect from, I know, day one and day two of this 2-day On the Revelry event? What's day one?
So day one is our Buyers Club, which is our trade show. This is where we do heavy vetting, so operators come through. So this is connecting the stores with the brands and the cultivators and the distributors and the processors. So we have about 180 brands on day one.
That's huge.
And about 250 retail stores. Day two is festival. That's where you're coming to speak. We have music. We have food.
Joey Badass. Yeah. My Brooklyn brother, Joey Badass, is going to be performing.
So it's our public day. So people who are interested in cannabis, consumers of cannabis, wanting to learn about how to enter the cannabis market as, you know, an entrepreneur or someone that wants to work in the field, come through.
The whole point of day too is for the attendees to come through and take their time learning about all the products there. You can try product there.
I feel like this would be a really peaceful event too. We're all gonna be nice and chill.
It's amazing. Like versus like alcohol, you see everybody's just happy. It's just all love. Like it's great.
And for people who aren't here, you guys also do have an online community. So I want to make sure that anybody who can't make it this weekend for whatever reason, they can still participate and know what's going on.
One of our core things is like democratizing all the information. So if you want to start a dispensary, if you want to, go legit from being an illegal underground cultivator to going, above board, all the information, all of our speakers, it's free. We put it all online.
All right. Well, you guys, thank y'all so much. I'm really excited to be there this weekend. It's nice to see how far we've come. I know we still have a lot left to do, but thank you for the work that you guys have been doing and trying to make sure that this is something that can be more fair and more equitable for people. And how can people get tickets if they still haven't gotten them and they want to come out?
Yeah, to get tickets, go to revelryny.com. You're going to want to get the Cannabis Festival tickets.
We did a code, right?
Oh, yeah. We got
we did a code.
we got a code. We got a code.
What's the code?
Way up 20 for 20% off on the Cannabis Festival tickets.
I like that.
Yeah,
See, we're always servicing people.
Exactly.
Way up 20 is the code.
Way up 20.
You can watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up With Ye. When we come back, you guys have the last word.
The phone. Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is Thursday. You know what that means. Tomorrow's Friday. And Dan, isn't your girlfriend's birthday this week? Your fiance. Sorry,
yes.
fiance.
Yes,
Her
yes,
birthday's
yes.
this weekend.
On the 6th.
All right. Well, happy birthday to Rita. I have a gift for her, too, by the way.
Really?
You're going to love this. This Valentino Beauty. It's a Spike Valentino buttery matte lip color. I use it all the time. And it's the type of color that looks good on anybody. You know, I like all different shades of different types of nudes with a little bit of color. And the packaging. This is what makes it really look like a gift. It's a full studded gold aluminum packaging. It looks really special. So
I really appreciate that, Ange. Thank you.
I got you.
That's really nice of you.
You know, Rita has good taste, other than her men.
That wasn't nice.
But anyway, Jingle Ball is happening in Atlanta. That's going to be on Thursday, December 19th, 2024. What a good time. Right before the holidays, right before New Year's, and Sexy Red, T.I., T-Pain, Saweetie, The Kid Laroi, Khalid, and Tinashe are all performing. What a lineup.
That is stacked.
That is stacked, okay? So these tickets are on pre-sale for Capital One customers. And then for the general public, it goes on sale tomorrow at noon. So just get ready for that. It's at State Farm Arena. And once again, thank you to Jacoby Holland and Lulu Sway, the co-founders of On the Revel. For all of my marijuana and cannabis lovers, that's a great interview for you guys to watch on the YouTube channel, Way Up With Ye. And of course, this is your show, so you have the last word.
My name's Dan. I wanted to shine a light on my mom that she was able to overcome a brain tumor in 21. She had a surgery that set her back, and I've been taking care of her ever since. Just the other day, it might not be big to somebody else, but she was able to get through Walmart on a go-kart because her pride too high, and able to make a full shopping trip. And every day, she's doing PT and OT to keep overcoming, every weakness that she can and find new strengths every day.
Going way up with Angela Yee.